Hey guys, welcome to a new kind of behind the scenes video. I'm just want to like show you how basically how I do my editing amongst other things. As you can see, it's on my Steam thing right now, and here's all my fucking games. So I'm going to slowly drag just in case you want to see what kind of games I have. They're all there. They're all there, obviously. Yeah, I got a lot basically. Um, but there you go. So a bit of behind the scenes. So you can see all the fucking games I have. Um, but I'm actually going to show you what I used to record. This is a new thing I used to record. Sorry. Okay, now Steam's like taking over my full screen. That's not good. I hate it when it does that. So yeah, basically I use Shadowplay to do my recording. I see it's currently off, and that's because I'm using something else to record right now. Um, but yeah, so basically, I record in 720 because it's a smaller, more comfortable file size, so it doesn't take up as much room. And I don't use the audio. I always have my audio separate because that way you have better control after you've done stuff. So if something fucks up, basically, you can control it. So now that I've mentioned that, I use desktop capture as well, because there's some games that aren't optimized to use with Shadowplay, so you can use desktop and you can record full screen, and that's good as well. So this is basically the new record thing I use now. Some people don't like Shadowplay. The reason that I'm really enjoying it, I really enjoy it because a lot of recording software basically is very processor intensive, and my processor is a little bit subpar. It's an i3 3.30 gigahertz basically, so it's an i3 3220, I think is the exact model. You have to excuse me if I got that wrong, but whatever. So anyway, it's a subpar processor, but honestly I don't need anything really good right now because all my games function with it, and like I've even checked I checked specs for Fallout 4 and I have no problem with it. However, my GPU, my graphics card, which, if you want to know that, there's a video of my rig build that I'll leave in the description so you guys know what computer I'm running, basically. I'm running a Gigabyte WindForce GTX 970, and basically, for this rig, that is kind of, I wouldn't say overpowered. There's nothing wrong with the graphics, because, there's not many games that utilize its full effectiveness just yet, kind of thing. I mean, you could argue that, but basically for how I play games and stuff, it's more than I need. So it's really good that basically Shadowplay uses the GPU power to record rather than the processor. So that's good. Anyway, let's move on to my editing process, which you guys are going to find very interesting, I feel. So here it is. This is what I use to do my editing. You get those people who use Dolby whatever and fucking Sony Vegas and whatnot. And I use Movie Maker. Which distresses a lot of people. People say, "You use Movie Maker?" I mean, even Yahtzee says, "Yeah, Movie Maker. It's good for doing his zero punctuation videos. It's good for doing slideshows, but anything else, he says he wouldn't use it." So, um, honestly, I get on really well with Movie Maker. I think it's underrated. I think it's an underrated editing software. So what we're going to do is first we're going to import my my video. So we're going to do that. Right. So there's been a cut. I'm in my my Twitch box. So I save everything to the Twitch fucking thing because it's easier for me just to find it there. Right. This is saved as Half-Life 2. It's not Half-Life 2. This is actually the Forgotten Ones, the most recent parts that I just basically did. So we're going to import that. And here it comes. I mean, we have to wait for it to load in, and I'll obviously jump cut to when it's loaded in. Right, now that it's all loaded up, so it can play. There it is. It works. As you can see, my mouse has just started moving. Now, the thing I do first is I go for where my mouse moves. So as you can see, it's just about to move. So here is where I want the video to start, right? So I just edit that as a start point, and then I go to now you see, you can add music, or you can like add a narration, right? So like you go to record narration, and you can just go to add sound, right? So I can add my narration from here. Now the reason I don't add it as a narration rather than the reason I add it as music and not narration is what narration does is it prioritizes that audio. So what it does is every single time you talk, it mutes the it basically lessens the volume of the game. And while some people like that, I don't. I like the audio to stay constant. So I add it as music unless I'm obviously adding music. You may have noticed when I've been talking about Fallout 4 in some of my other videos that when I stop talking, the music gets louder. Yeah, well that's why, because the narration prioritizes. So we're going to add my audio, which always goes to my desktop. So here it is here. This is the audio I did. And once it's loaded in, which it has now, I just play. Okay, audio for the Forgotten Ones is now going. You can just about hear it. As you can see, the game's still going. Start the recording. Recording is now going, and I'm going to sync 1. And there you go. You can see the obviously the audio. So I just bring it there. I want to add that to my start point, and now I check if it's synced. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And for me, that's good enough. That's a good enough sync for me. Like, it's synced up enough where I'm comfortable with it. So what I do now is, as you can see, I start talking here. So this is probably when I do my introduction. So here it is. Hey guys, yep, there it is. And then what I do now, this is something that some people probably do differently, but I do it this way because there are reasons, right? So what I do is I go to the video tools. Well, I go to music. No, it doesn't really matter what you do first. You go to video tools and you go to split, right? And then you go to music tools and you go to split. Now the idea is because I want this obviously to be the start, right? Now I could have just edited the video as a start point. What happens then is it basically jumps the video back to the start point, and I lose the place in the audio, and that's a problem. So what you can do is you can split both of them, so they're both split in the exact same spot, and then you can click on the video and be like, right, well, let's do the audio first. Click on the audio, and you say I want to remove that, and what it does is it just removes that, and then it jumps it back to the beginning. And then you do the same with the video, and it jumps that. So now we've got the audio and the visual completely synced up. So hey guys, welcome back to the Forgotten Ones. We are back into the dank basement. I decided this would be a good place to. And there we go. That's basically all there is to the syncing process with that. As a lot of people use other software. Honestly, I find this really fucking easy to use. Like, and people will say, basically what it amounts to is a bad workman blames his tools, right? I've only ever used Movie Maker. It's all I need to use, right? And people complaining about it not being a very good editing software. Sure, like, I agree there are better editing softwares out there where you can add and do more stuff with, you can do green screens, you can add face cams and stuff. But for people like me who want to do just an LP and don't really give a shit about face cams, this is how you do it. As far as I'm concerned, it's easy to use. I don't really care any other way about it. So now what I do is I just kind of slowly drag through the parts. I know what I did at certain locations, so you just drag through. And let's see, and let's try find an example one. I see me dithering around doing whatever I'm doing. There you go, there's an example of one. So what we do is we drag it back. Sometimes it fucks me, That's where I open the door. So what I do is I backtrack like that. And I basically do the same I did at the beginning. I do a split for both. Here's the loading screen. As you can see, there's a bit of gameplay in between, but then I can just be like, okay, where is the where is it? There's where I'm speaking again. So one would assume. I normally try to do it at the black part, so it's like almost like it just makes sense to me like that. So we do that again. We split. We remove the audio, then we remove the visual, and then it's cut appropriately. So I go through the door, and then it instantly loads into the next area. That's the fucking Resident Evil Mansion music. Yeah, exactly. So what I'm going to do now is, basically, it's just this process over and over again. I just skip through the video, find the loading screens, all the times I paused, or I fucking sneezed, or whatever. And I basically get a part together. As you can see, what what I do is I normally try to keep my parts 20-25 minutes long, right? The problem with this, as you can see, the you know, the final video is 37 minutes, right? Now it's going to be less than that because obviously I've got to cut certain things out, like certain things that just like loading screens and getting back up. Like if I die, getting back up to where I was. You don't need to see me do that repeatedly. So what I do is I cut all that nonsense out, and then you're left with, you know, an even shorter video. Now, see, the problem with this is, like I said, I tried to do 25 minutes. Now you see, this is going to be longer than 25 minutes, but it's not going to be long enough for. It will be long enough for 2 parts, but basically what happens is I have to kind of work out in my mind of the amount of stuff I need to cut out and how long I want the videos to be. So in this case, it's basically roughly it started off roughly 40 minutes, and I think by the time I'm finished editing the bullshit, the part's going to be more likely 35 minutes long. And basically the way I always justify that is I say 35 minutes, and then I basically split it in half. So let's just think a second. Let's think a second. Actually, I don't even need to think. I've got a fucking calculator here. You may think this is retarded, but you know, whatever. I don't have to think about it. So yeah, that's 17 minutes 30 seconds. So I can basically do about 17-minute parts. So that's a reasonable length. You know, I feel that's okay. So basically what it amounts to, if the parts are below 15 minutes, I don't see the point. I'll get more footage and add it on afterwards. But with like a 17-minute part, I think that's acceptable. So that's what we're going to roll with. So I'm going to edit a part together, and I will show you the rendering process. Sorry, very quickly, there was actually something I forgot. Now you may see this has changed. It's because you can zoom. You can basically use this and zoom in and out of like the detail, basically. Now we're back at the beginning, but there was something very important I forgot. There's something very important I forgot. I've got it synced up.
Hey guys, welcome back to
as you can see,
Forgotten Ones. We are,
but there's a problem. There is a bit of a problem. Like, I haven't checked the game audio.
oh man.
Like, as you can see, the game for me, it sounds like it's a bit loud, right? And that's a problem. So what you're supposed to do first, which I didn't do, is my narration audio I always keep the same. So basically, across the board with every LP I do, my voice doesn't really change volume too much, because I could just max it out, but I'm not going to. I like to keep it at the mid range because I know that's an acceptable volume. So what I do is I try to get the game volume around to match it, and what I worked out with this is about here on the audio slider is where you want it. So
It's really, really irritating that I can't.
the game's loud enough where you can hear it, but my voice does come out over it. So, for example, now you see the reason why you're supposed to do this first, because when I go to this, which is the next section, it doesn't do the audio all the way across. So if I go to video volume, it's gone back to half. So I need to drag that back down to about there again, and the same again here. So same again there. I need to put it about there. And basically, luckily with this, you don't need to be really accurate. It's not too noticeable. Like some people would argue differently, but yeah, I'm basically just showing you that I forgot to do something, and I would have noticed at the end because I normally just listen to it a bit just to see I got everything correct before I do the render. But that is very important as well. Bear that in mind. Here we are, back at my projects. Now, I've edited a part together. As you can see, I kept it roughly like 17 minutes 30, like I said I was going to. It's roughly around there. It didn't need to be dead on, but I wanted to get it as close as possible, feasibly. So timescale, you can see all the splits I did. So you can see all the loading screens I cut out. There was obviously only 2, as you can see. There's only 2 areas I really need to cut out there, which is good. I then do an audio check to see everything was correct. So, oh fuck! So there you go. Like, I actually expect him to come alive. I'm gonna stand up. What you gonna do, huh? What you gonna do? So as you can see, like, I checked the audio to make sure everything's okay.
I wigged him out. I don't think he knows what to do.
And like, honestly, everything sounds good to me. All sounds good. So, after double checking everything, and the part seems okay to me, it's obviously time to render it. So what I do is I go to obviously save movie. Now for this, because as you know, the last few parts I've done 60 frames. I've got the 1080 60 FPS. That is actually set up from the Tron 2.0 LP I did. Now that was good. That was like an experiment to see how good the quality was, and it came out great. I was really pleased with the quality of Tron 2.0. The problem was each part took a reasonable amount of time to upload, so it wasn't feasible for me to keep doing videos like that, because like they basically took like two hours, 2.5 hours, maybe 3 hours sometimes to upload, depending on how busy the internet was. So as you can see, I have 720. If I just want to render in just 1080 30 FPS, I just use that, which is just the fucking standard. So if you wanted to know, the bit rate and whatever, there it is. But this is the one I'm currently using. So it's it basically has the same bit rate as a 1080p video. So it doesn't, you don't get the fucking the pixelization when you move the screen around too quickly, and it's still 60 frames. So it's a lower resolution, so it uploads quicker. So basically, although it's only in 720, it looks reasonably nice. I don't think it looks bad at all, and that's why I edited it to be like that. So we're gonna obviously render this in 720. Right, sorry about the jump, but I didn't want you to see the other YouTube videos in the folder, obviously. So, so now it's named My Movie. Obviously, we don't want it to be called My Movie. We want it to be called whatever the part is, which I didn't bother to check because I'm an idiot. Right, so now that I've actually checked, it's actually part 3. So here we go. So we don't want it to be capital. Right, so there we go. That's obviously the name of the next part, so that's what we're going to roll with. So then, obviously we click save, and it starts the render. So I'll bring you guys back in when it's close to finishing. Right, okay, here we are back. The video finished rendering, and whenever Movie Maker finishes rendering, it gives you a Windows alert prompt and says, yeah, your part is ready. So what I do is, not a lot of people do this, which I think is interesting. Like, some people don't. I mean, I always do, because I want to be sure before I upload. Is I open the folder. There it is, and I open it with
Hey guys, welcome back to the Forgotten Ones.
So I'm going to lower that down so you don't need to really hear that. A good place to go from. Skip ahead, just to see.
I like the way the knife looks like it's up close to me, but like in the mirror it's like I'm holding it back, so it wouldn't actually be in my line of sight. Gabuska. You're holding that lantern kind of strange, like you're holding a pistol almost.
It all looks good in all honesty.
It was lots of eternity for all I fucking.
So like that came out great. That came out wonderful. So everything's fine. Everything's fine. So obviously the next course of action is I need to upload it. It's finished. This is ready for publishing. So we're gonna upload it to YouTube now. Right, and obviously here we are at my channel. See, sometimes I check the videos go up okay. This one, even though I checked it, doesn't say it's watched, which is strange. I think it's because I checked it downstairs rather than on this computer. But as you can see, yeah, I upload. My uploads have been a bit sparse recently, but it happens. I'm afraid. So obviously we want to upload, and we want to obviously select the files we want to upload. And obviously here it is, there it is, and yep, it started going, and as you can see, it's saying, yeah, it's going to upload in about 30 minutes, about an hour, sorry, and that's good, that's acceptable. It's acceptable. About 20-25 minutes, just it's just over an hour, it's about an hour and a half, and then it will process. So obviously the next course of action is I want to obviously give a little description about the video. I normally keep these short, and the first part I do a more lengthy sort of description, But for part one, you don't really have to. It's just, whatever. Like, I normally keep it to, like, just something that maybe happened in the video. Like, let's think what happened in the video. There. So that's good enough. The dead chef. That's fine. That's obviously what I want to do. Now let's think. We need to edit tags for this, so I'm going to do that. Right. Okay. Now that I've edited all the tags, as you can see, it's giving me suggested ones. But basically, I try to keep some of the parts broad. Obviously, I do the part type and whatever. Normally, YouTube does a good job of like just dumping in the next part if it's named similarly, but for all intents and purposes, we just do it this way. Now, this part is really up to the YouTuber. I find, like, sometimes I do scheduled, depending on how busy I am that week. This one, I'm just going to keep public, because, like, I just want it to be available to watch as soon as it's finished uploading. Now, some people don't like doing that, because as soon as the video is uploaded, it hasn't fully finished processing yet, so it doesn't look as good as it could. So, sometimes what I do is I just put it on private, like that. Right, and what that does is basically as soon as it uploads, no one can watch it, but I can go into the video later and basically say, yeah, now I want to publish it manually, or I can schedule it to publish. So, but I'm just going to keep this public because basically it's just like, don't give a shit, just want it to go up as soon as possible. Now I could add this to the Forgotten Ones playlist from here, but the reason I don't is because what happens is, if someone's watching it currently, and it'll go to the next part saying, oh man, the next part's ready to watch, and then it'll be, actually no it isn't, it hasn't finished uploading yet. So I don't add it to the playlist until it's finished uploading. So that's basically the process from the video editing all the way up to the upload. And some people will probably say I'm not doing it the optimal way or the best way to do it, but honestly, we are creatures of habit. We do what we used to, and I've become used to doing things my optimal way of doing them, and that's what it amounts to. And as you can see from looking at my my fucking tabs, like, yeah, you may be wondering what the fuck this shit is. Like, so as a bonus, since perv anime, you're probably thinking, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? So I'll show you. I'll show you what these are, so you can know what they are. So yeah, this is an anime I was watching. For anyone who's interested in what the anime is about, I think this is the one about the guy who goes to the all-girls school. I think it's quite entertaining. I think it's entertaining. Depressed guy is, I think it's the yeah. This is the fucking guy who has to join a fucking help club, or whatever. I haven't actually watched those in ages. The furry convention's about the people who try to poison all the furries, and I favorited it because I thought that was hysterical. So yeah, Flash Cycle. That's a game. Text to speech. I can't remember why that's there. In all honesty. I think that's just when I was practicing my typing, because I still can't fucking touch type. I'm not one of those people who can. I'm better at typing than I used to be, but I'm still not very good. So, don't have to be good at typing to play video games, and that's just the long and short of it. So, I feel this video's been long enough. There's gonna be no spoilers in it, obviously, because like this is gonna come out after this part's gone up. So, I hope this video was informative for anyone who wants to see my editing process when I do bigger projects that require a lot of editing. Obviously, that's the reason it takes longer, because like I said, I use Movie Maker because I'm a scrub, and it's not that. It's basically what it amounts to is I'm not one of those people who like pirating stuff. I don't like a lot of people who use like Sony Vegas and like Adobe Pro or whatever. I feel probably a lot of people who use that probably haven't got official versions of it. They're probably using a bummed version of the software. So I don't like doing that. So obviously Movie Maker comes with comes with a Windows computer, so that's what I use. So, like I said, probably better ways of doing stuff, but this is how I do things. So, I hope this was informative to you guys, and I will see you next time.